And a triple-double from LeBron tonight. What did you see in his return?
He's incredible. I guess the time off served him well. We didn't want to play him 39 minutes, and obviously the overtime impacted that. But just played a great basketball game. His defensive competitive spirit and IQ, is everything to us. And the way he scores the basketball in all ways, and the way he sets up teammates, it's rare, and he was special tonight. Just a great performance.
Anthony, LeBron comes back tonight, gives you guys 40 minutes, 29 points. What can you say about his return?
It's a return. He did what he did. I think he had a triple-double, right? So, he doing LeBron-type things. Expected nothing less from him. Efficient from the field. He did what he was supposed to do. He helped us for sure. So, missed him. He's a big part of our team with his voice, leadership, playmaking ability. He came back and showed it.
After the first quarter, I kind of, the knee loosened up a lot more. My mind loosened up a lot more. And I was able just to play basketball. But just excited to be back in the uniform, back on the floor with my guys. Missed them, missed the game. And, happy I was able to make a few plays to help us win the ball game.
In your 5 games out, Anthony Davis has returned and been putting up numbers that have people calling him, bubble AD. What have you seen as you've watched from the sidelines?
The time that he missed brought back the hunger. And it's literally that simple.
LeBron, we've spent a lot of time, I guess when the limited games that you guys have all been together, about trying to figure out fit and getting everybody kind of together. What's the message to a guy like Russ after a night like tonight? Boos from the crowd, tough night shooting, ends the game on the bench. What's the message to him?
I just told him to text me later. I told him to keep going. I told him to stop second-guessing himself during the game. There's a couple times where he had good looks, second-guess himself. A couple times where he had some drives. He had the drives to second-guess himself. He's an instinctive player, and he should never. What he's done in his league, he should never second-guess himself. If you put the work in, he's put the work in. So, I just told him to just hit me later, and I don't need to harp on what we need to say to him. He's a big-time player, and I have the utmost confidence in his ability, not only for this team but for himself individually.
LeBron, when you were warming up before the game, were you already pretty sure that you were going to play tonight, or was there something you were trying to see how the knee was responding before you got out there?
No, I didn't feel that great in my pregame warm up, to be honest. But I didn't feel as bad as the last warm up that I had in Charlotte. The last time I tried to do something on the floor, that was the last time I actually did anything on the court. I didn't feel worse than that day. So just gave it a shot, see what happens. And we saw what happened.
LeBron, how has Malik taken advantage of kind of the opportunity that's been presented kind of with the circumstances of this season? And then where does he fit in kind of on of the guys you need to get to where you want to go this year? It seems like he's really emerged as one of the most important pieces of this puzzle.
He's taking full advantage of this opportunity. Obviously, and every game he gets more and more comfortable. He understands his ability and what he brings to this team. He brings a knockout punch that, to be completely honest, we haven't had on our roster since I got here. Someone that can literally, if he makes one, it could be 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row, and it comes in bunches. And he's a big time scorer, but think what's very underrated about his game is also a great playmaker as well. With the ball in his hands, he doesn't make many mistakes, and is always in control. So he's going to be very key to what we hope to do, going on the stretch and for the rest of the season.
You might get a call from JR about that.
Yeah, Swish is one of those guys too. I agree. Yeah, Swish is definitely one of those guys who, he did it in Game 7 in the finals too, where he came in and hit 3 straight big-time buckets that we needed after being down at halftime. So Swish is definitely on that list.
So I got a question for you. In the time you were out, Tom Brady retired, and publicly we've seen you guys both motivate one another. Who knows what the relationship's like privately, but I'm curious if his retirement struck you in any sort of different way, considering you were out with an injury, and if it made you think about, like, hey, I still get a chance to return.
I personally was just like so in shock when I saw it. I was one of the ones that didn't say anything when the first initial announcement came out. I didn't retweet anything. I didn't say anything because I wanted to make sure I heard it from him. And then when he came out with his announcement, I was like, it's a guy who's kind of just been kind of my motivation factor over the last few years. Seeing what he's able to do at his age, and always, kind of being a leader of a team, and even at his age, people still gravitate towards him and gravitate, his energy and how he prepares and things of that nature. So, a small piece of me was definitely left when Brady decided to retire. That's for sure.
Did it make you have any extra gratitude?
Say that again.
Did it give you any extra gratitude, the fact that you would be able to come back and you'd be playing more?
Yeah, but I don't think it was a correlation. It wasn't anything that was, side to side. Listen. The man gave us 22 great years, and obviously the numbers speak for itself. The championship speak for itself. But I just think the way he, when he got that starting job in New England, from the time he was a starter, the way he just carried himself as a professional, day in and day out, committing to the game was something that's just it's a remarkable thing, and something I've always looked up to and respected.